Hey guys, welcome back to Galgorm Hall. This is going to be a very short update video, and I think this is going to cover both June and July. It's baking hot in the roof space today. Outdoor temperatures are just touching the 30 degrees and I've no idea what it is up in here. So I'm going to make this as brief as possible. I've done very little in the layout in the last month, primarily because of the heat. It's just too hot to work up in here, although I think I'm going to have to move stuff downstairs to sort of get on with a few projects that I have in mind. But I'm going to just show you briefly what I have been up to in the last month, just to keep everybody informed. And yeah, so this will be really short, so I'll take you over to the layout now. Okay, so any work that has been carried out has been in this one little corner of the layout. If you saw my last video, which was how to scratch build a plate girder bridge, you can now see it installed there on the right hand side. That took up most of the time that, or the small amount of time that I had in the roof space building that. But as well as that, I have been constructing the hill formations in this corner, and as you can see they're more or less done except for applying the static grass. I'm going to do that soon, but I'll come on to the reason why I'm not touching that just yet, just in one wee second. Just to say, on the construction of the hills, you'll have seen in previous videos that I started off with a card formation to give the contours. Newspaper was stuffed in between each of those cells, and then plaster bandage has been applied on top, and then that has just been given a coat of a cheap brown acrylic paint, just so whenever the static grass does get put on, that it doesn't, the white bits of the plaster doesn't show through in any gaps in the excuse me, any gaps in the static grass. So let's just take a wee closer look at that. So as you can see, everything's done in around the roads. This top road is now ready for a road surface to be applied. I'm currently experimenting with tile grout on a scrap piece of card to see how that'll look. Literally at this point in time, all I've done is applied a layer of the grout to the card. That needs sanded down, and then some coats of paint and weathering to bring it up to look like a road. Once I'm happy with that technique, I can then go ahead and do this section of roadway. You can also see that I've also ballasted this section of track here, just from the tunnel portal right round to the bridge. Again, I can't move any further until I do the next section of plastering. This road here I won't be touching for the time being, because I need to sort out the scenic side of things in the station area, and that's what I'm focusing on next. What I'm planning to do is at the front of the layout, I'm going to get the walls sorted for the platforms. So actually I have them there, just one wee second. Okay, so like I say, this is my next project. This is just a 2mm mount board card that has been cut to the desired height and glued together with little bits of support on the back of it. I plan to add brick plastic card to the front of this, and also add a wee bit of a relief effect at the top. Then that's going to have, I'm not sure yet, I'm either going to do the tile grout surface on it just for a plain sort of tarmac type surface, or I may look at the plastic card paving. Haven't decided on that yet, but I think my next video is going to be my how to build platforms. So this is as far as we've gotten this at the minute, but once I get that in place, I can then work out this area here as to how the surface is going to flow. what I need to do is I want to bring the surface up level with the platform to allow the station to sit. I'm not a big fan of seeing stations and then a big drop down to the ground level below. I would rather have a sort of a natural flowing road surface happening here. So that needs to slope slightly down at the back to meet with the road, and then it'll slope down to the very back to the surface here, so for going round to the goods shed. Another aspect that I need to look at is the retaining wall at the back. I need to apply the plastic card brick there. I think I'm just going to still use the dressed stone that I use for the retaining walls of the bridge. So it's another job that I want to look at getting done, and I can probably do that downstairs where it's not just as warm. So that's the idea over the next few days, is to get that done. So I'll start with the platforms, and then I can work at the walls at the back, and then in between that I can start getting the relief, lay down the top surfaces, and then this whole section can be have the tile grout applied to it and weathered and painted up to represent the road surfaces. And that's really as much as I've done this month. It doesn't feel like a lot, and probably isn't really a lot, but I mean, I'm sweating just up here at the minute now, just doing this short video. I've only been up here 5 minutes, so it does make it prohibitive to doing any sort of real hard work on it. But I do need to move on and try and get something else done, even if it is away from the layout itself. The only other thing actually I have to show you is this, and I'll come back to you and show you that now. One aspect of this hot weather is it's given me an opportunity to see how well I laid this track, and as you can see from this picture in front of you, I haven't left enough of an expansion spaces in between the tracks, and we've got a buckling effect. Now, as you'll probably know, the buckling occurs because with the warm weather, the track expands with the heat, and if you don't have enough spacers at the track joins, the track has nowhere else to go but to kick itself out like it has here. Now, fortunately, as it stands at the minute, this is the only area that has occurred in. So there's a rail join here, so all I need to do is take away a wee bit of the rail on this point, and we should be able to straighten this back out. But you know, it's worked out for the best actually. If we hadn't had this really hot weather, if the roof space wasn't unbearable to work in, well then I wouldn't have discovered this until a later point. Maybe the track would have been ballasted, and it would have been a much more difficult job to rectify the problem. So yeah, we should be a little bit thankful in this case for what this hot weather has brought to us. I mean, this is the hottest weather we've had in, I think, 23 years or something like that. So if the only movement is this one piece of track on these hottest of days, well then during the rest of the year we should be more than okay. So just thought I'd point that out to you, and I'll go back and give you this information. The one and only purchase I have got for the layout in the last month is one of these. It's a cobalt motor, and it's DCC ready, well DCC fitted I think actually, and I am seriously contemplating replacing all the Pico point motors with the solenoid point motors with the cobalt motors instead. Now I picked this up on Amazon. It's about £20. They're not the cheapest options out there, but I had a few vouchers and I thought, well look, let's buy one of these and see what it's like. So I'm going to fit one of these to the layout, connect it up through the power cab, and see if it's a direction that I would like to go. I have, well, certainly in this branch line section I have 4 points that I need to fit. So I mean, there's £80 if we go through the Amazon route to buy these motors. Over across on the other side of the layout, well, we're talking I think 10 or 12 over there actually, you know, so it's not an inexpensive option. But if it works out, I think it might be sort of the long-term option for the layout is to go down this road. One of the reasons I want to do it is, well, it's that clunky noise that you get through the solenoid motors isn't very attractive on the ear. but also I find that the polarity switches with the Pico point motors can be a wee bit temperamental at times. I haven't wired the motors up to the control panel yet, and I'm going to do that soon as well, just to see how things are operating with the solenoid motors, and then maybe change over with the cobalt and see if, you know, if I was even to concentrate and put the cobalts into this section here and see how I feel with them. If they work out really well, then I will do it on the other side of the layout. If I'm not finding that they're that much more beneficial to me, well, I'll stick with the solenoids on the other side, and I'm not out a massive amount of money, so I'm only going to pick up a few of these motors at this stage. But yeah, because the polarity switches sometimes cause an issue, you're getting a short on the track whenever a train crosses because it's not reading in the right direction. So that's the thinking anyway at the minute. Very early stages of that. This has only come in the last month, like I say, so I haven't even had a chance to really sit and look at it and investigate it further, but it's something that I'm seriously considering. Right, listen, sweat's dripping off me now as it is sitting up here waffling away too, so I'm going to make this a very short update. Thanks for watching. Please keep in touch through your comments in the videos below. I really appreciate those. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and you would like to, please hit the subscribe button. It's really appreciated. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Like I say, the next video will probably be the platform build, and I probably won't do another update now until maybe the end of July, sort of rolling into August, I would think, before I do another update on the layout, because, you know, time is limited up here at the minute with the weather. So have a good summer, everybody. Enjoy this glorious weather that we are having. Don't complain too much about not getting into the loft. We might as well enjoy it outdoors, and besides, for the next couple of weeks we've still got the World Cup to enjoy. Yeah, I'll chat to you soon. Thanks. Bye.